don't overthink things and don't think things have to be perfect. Don't always just give the answer, even though you know it. Don't give it. Let them think and let them merge what you're thinking and what they're thinking together. Because sometimes what you think is the right way of doing things, you might learn from your leadership team and maybe change your opinion on how, besides just giving the dictating answers all the time.
Growth is 10x when you think relationships and collaborations. Your ability to help other people grow is going to determine how high you go, because your success, your growth is a byproduct of others, people around you growing. Hi, Will. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, sir. Good to see you.
I truly appreciate you, my friend. And so they're a friends for a reason, for a season and lifetime, and you are a lifetime friend. And you believed in us in our Build It when we were just kind of really thinking about this and no one knew what we are about to start and do. And friends like you, Logan, not only that you have been attending Build It on a regular basis and taking trips together with us, but you're like family to us. So we really appreciate you.
You and Cam are a common conversation in our household.
Yeah, thank you. And so I want to start with your entrepreneurial journey, Bill. You have had an amazing growth story. And I think your story is so inspirational. And I know it, but I want our viewers to also get inspired from what you have done and what you have kind of really built for as a person, as your individual, your personal side and your business side.
Yeah, well, I would have to take you all the way back to high school, honestly, to really paint the clear picture. So in high school, I was just a jock. I literally went to high school to play baseball. And my vision was always to play college and go as far as I could in the baseball world. Life changes, things change in your life. And I ended up turning down 13 baseball scholarships to play baseball at multiple colleges in North Carolina. And I went and started working in an above ground mine, driving a 100-ton bulldozer in a mine. So I know what hard work. So I came from farming. I came working in the tobacco fields and with ostrich and cows and stuff. So I know what hard labor work is. And so I went in, used to driving heavy equipment on the farm equipment, went to driving heavy equipment there. It's funny. So they didn't have IT there late at night. So I worked 12-hour shifts and they didn't have IT there. And so I actually started doing the computer work behind the scenes. And then that's when I started really learning how to hack things, to help them out because they didn't have the support. And then I decided, everybody was like, Will, you need to go to college. You need to go to college for computers. And so I ended up getting 2 degrees, both in engineering and then took it from there and started the business, moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 2002. Started the business in 2008 and running Vector Choice where I'm at today.
I think we have so much in common. So starting from a farm type of life to the tech world. I call it more like a tractor to tech.
Tractor to tech.
Tractor to tech, but you have done more. I really take a lot of joy in kind of rhyming stuff. So it's baseball to borderless life for you, and bulldozer to borderless life, borderless business for you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that is.
And it's just crazy today. Like if I do anything around the house, and I've got a good bit of land, and I actually rent my own equipment, and I still run equipment even at my house. So that's my out of reality of having to do the day-to-day business. I can go sit on a bulldozer or a bobcat or something and just not have to think about things.
Yeah. Same thing for me. I was in Vancouver for a wedding. And my uncle owns, he has a farm there. And I'm like, I just want to drive tractor for a little bit. So it just kind of really, I think the one thing that I realized there is that it's a great way for me to go back and remind myself where I started, and it just keeps me grounded. It just keeps me connected with who I am as a person. And I think it's a great way to kind of really have some free time and time where you kind of really recharge your batteries.
I agree, and that's why I still mow my own grass, because I can sit on the riding lawnmower, put my earpods in, listen to a podcast or whatever, and just relax. Because we as business owners are constantly going, and people are like, "Why do you mow your own yard?" I'm like, "Because that's just my out. That takes me back to my roots, but it's sort of my out of having to think about the stress of running a business."
Yeah, so true, so true. So now, when you reflect on your journey, Bill, if I'm listening, I'm 20-year-old, I'm listening to you, I'm like, what can I learn from Bill, so that I don't have to learn by making mistakes. I can learn from other person's mistakes. So with that lens, what are the 3 life lessons that you would like to share with that 20-year-old?
I would say one of the things I did is when I started the business, like I've got to have a nice car because I'm going to be taking clients out, and everything has to be perfect. I was in the mindset of everything has to be perfect. And so you have to step back. And if you're 20, 25, you're looking at starting a business, things are not going to be perfect. And it's for a long time, and they're still not perfect today, right? Sunny, you deal with the same headaches and issues that I deal with. And so, so don't overthink things and don't think things have to be perfect. Getting out of your own way. And then it goes back to overthinking it, but getting out of your own way, because we think things have to be perfect. We get in our way, we overthink it, especially when you're an engineering minded person, you're always going to overthink things. So getting out of your own way, knowing that you're going to put something out there that it's going to be wrong. You don't want it wrong, but things are going to happen. You're going to make mistakes, but that's how you learn. That's how you grow as a human and grow in your business. And then I think the last thing is when you start getting employees, hire the right team around you that you can trust them to implement for you, and you're not involved in every single thing. I see so many people trying to implement as an MSP, try to implement marketing, and then they want to read every single word. They want to have control of everything that goes out, besides just letting your marketing manager just send stuff out, knowing that they're going to make mistakes. We're all humans. But you build a better team around you when you just empower your team to do those things.
Got it. So don't overthink, and hire the right team around you, and then get out of your own way. Let them fly.
Yes.
And empower them, educate them, be there for them, to be a coach, but let them learn by making their own mistakes. Don't rescue.
Sonny, one of the things I learned is, besides when an employee it comes to me, and still today, even my executive team, besides always giving them the answers, because as an engineer, as a personality person, I always thought, well, you know what? If I have to explain it to you, I might as well do it myself, right? I mean, Sonny, you probably said that once or twice in your life, and
almost every day.
So one of the things that I have learned to do is when someone comes to me with a problem, besides always giving them the answer, ask, hey, what do you think we should do? What's their opinion of what we should do? And then what do you think I would do? Right? And once you start getting those two merged together, now you're building a good leader in your organization. And so don't always just give the answer, even though you know it. Don't give it. Let them think and let them merge what you're thinking and what they're thinking together. Because sometimes what you think is the right way of doing things, you might learn from your leadership team, and maybe change your opinion on how, besides just giving the dictating answers all the time.
Yeah, that's a great way to overall build your team, and overall, not being able to kind of get stuck just because you have to do everything, not becoming that bottleneck. And the scale only happens when you play with your unique strengths, and your contribution is really based on your unique strengths, and it's teamwork based on unique strengths. But you got to have a system a mechanism where you are able to really have clear understanding of what you need in a role, what are the unique strengths that you need in a role, and then having a very strong hiring process, operating way to make sure that you filter for those strengths and validate as much as you can, and then having those individuals take extreme ownership based on their unique strengths. So only keep your vision and culture and outsource everything to unique strengths.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to learn a little bit more about your vision now, where you are, where you're going. And there are a lot of MSPs listening to this. And at IT by Design, we are all about collaborations, where we are with 800 employees, privately held, and turning 400 of our competitors into collaborators means we as MSP in New York City, everyone looked at us as a competitor when we were going to them to help them with our global delivery center. They're like, hey, you're MSP too. So it took some collaborative, first of all, trust, relationships, and collaborations to help to see, for them to see that evidence that, hey, we're not threat to you. We're not going to show up as a competitor. But where I'm going with this is that collaboration is always at the center when I think stuff, and I love connecting people. One of my unique strengths is being a connector.
Yep.
So I want to be a connector for you and the channel. And if anyone listening to us right now, what are the collaborations that they can see with Vector Choice?
Yeah, so let me step back, talking about being competitors in the same market. The world is too big. I teach, and some of you guys are listening today know that I've been teaching for Technology Marketing Toolkit for the past 4.5 years. And I'll tell you, I teach people all over the world. And in my same market, I've got MSPs that live 3 miles from my house. Do I run across them? No. And because the market in where I live in Atlanta is so big, there's a lot of MSPs. Yes, there is. But it all depends on what that target market they're going after. I mean, there's MSPs that go after just dentists or CPAs or healthcare practices or big hospitals. So you might be the same MSP as same competitor in the market, but their target market might be totally different. So knowing the people around you and becoming friends with them is completely okay, right? I'd rather get to know the people that I'm competing against potentially than worry about, oh, if I meet with them and I'm going to give off some kind of knowledge that they're going to overtake my company. Don't think that way. I feel the more I teach, the more I get back from MSPs, but also more I get back from getting clients, right? Because I'm educating other MSPs how to grow their business. Some of the things that with Vector Choice, a lot of MSPs will come to us, especially if they're smaller and they need vCISO or compliance type services. We do a lot of work for MSPs that they white label us to do that because we have a full compliance team, a full security team, where smaller MSPs don't have that capability. And so they're coming to us to do CMMC work or even PCI work or NIST and all the compliances out there. And so they're using us for that. But what's really nice is getting to know your competition all around the world is if I need boots on the ground in a particular city, I know who to call, right? So, even if I had an office in New York, and I know you've sold your MSP now in New York, but I could call you up and say, hey, I need someone to go do this on site, right? And so that gives you the ability to have a bigger network of people around the world and in the United States as well.
Yeah, no, that is so true. And we both lived that life, and it proves that growth is 10x when you think relationships and collaborations. And there is no conflict in terms of your growth when you're helping others grow, because your ability to help other people grow is going to determine how high you go, because your success, your growth is a byproduct of others, people around you growing, businesses around you growing, and especially in the channel. Well, we know that it's like a village. Your reputation is probably the most important thing, because everyone almost know everyone in this village, and like keep building the reputation. Keeping that reputation is really important. And one more thing, what you said, boots on the ground. That's just one. I mean, that's a use case, or that's a example. Not only when we need like a reactive support or proactive support, where we need people that can go on site, but even in situations, I mean, we have now over 400 MSPs, and sometimes you get a call, hey, this happened, or this kind of emergency happened, and we need 50 engineers overnight. Who do you know that I can call? I don't have that much staff there, even local MSPs. And it's like machines needs to be rebuilt, or something else needs to happen. Someone needs to go on site. It could be a security incident. It could be something else. In those situations, who shows up? Your relationships. Other MSPs where they have boots on the ground and they are there to help you. And it will only come if you're building relationships, you're keeping a reputation in the market. So that's a great way, to think and grow. And Will, you do a lot of, talk about teaching. You also do a lot of advisory, a lot of coaching, a lot of kind of overall, just that's, I think, your passion, to help other people think different, inspire other people. And I have seen you doing it with some of our partners. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what do you do when you talk about coaching for MSPs?
Yep. So when I'm, I think it breaks down is what does the MSP, what's the biggest problem of the MSP? What is the problem they're having, right? And it could be packaging, pricing. It could be marketing. It could be sales. It could be operations. So everybody's going to uniquely come to you from a coaching aspect, and they're going to have a unique problem that they're dealing with. And so it's really focusing on that problem, and let's fix that first. You might have all kinds of problems, but what's the biggest problem that you need to fix now? And what I see the most of, Sunny, is people not pricing correctly. That is, or not knowing how to price. Where I see people just, oh, well, I heard Will say he charges this, so that's what I'm going to charge. Well, you might charge less than me because I might have more expensive products or more expensive staff. So you really got to know what your hard and soft cost is when it comes to pricing. And so, I started doing a few things, Sunny. I do, and you've probably seen, I do a week with Will down in Acapulco, Mexico, where I'll take 7 CEOs of MSPs and I work with them on their key issues for the week. Now, granted, you get a beautiful house and a nice little vacation out of it as well, but you're tired. I make you work for that. But we deliver a lot of content behind that as well that you're able to take and use in your company after you leave that week with Will. And so I do a little, I do a day with Will. So if someone has a specific issue that they want to address, or they want to bring me in and talk to their staff, a lot of times they'll know, hey, I need to let go of this person. This is a bad apple in my business. But they just want someone to agree or clarify that that's the right decision. So I do those things as well. Being
their soundboard.
Yeah, being a good soundboard. Yep.
Yeah. So David, the Will Nobles, I've seen that, and your kind of retreat type of. Talk to me a little bit more about that. Like who can benefit from your Mexico? You said it's in Mexico.
It's in Acapulco, Mexico. Yep. Yeah. Okay. And beautiful house in Acapulco. And so what we do, day one, we start out, and we have different topics each day. So let's use packaging and pricing as one of the topics. I'm going to work with you and all the 7 CEOs there, and we're going to deep dive in what are your hard costs? What's your soft costs? Let's build out. Are you going to have one package, or are you going to have 3 packages or 4, whatever you're going to have? Let's lay out the marketing aspect of it. Then I've got a spreadsheet calculator that we will build for you, plug your cost in, your pricing, and build that pricing for you. So now you have something that very quickly you can actually quote someone on the fly if you need to. But then we're also, I'm going to have my marketing person actually design a marketing document for you to take all your packaging pricing and design a marketing document that now you can go use and the next week and everything. So that's just one of the days, right? So we're going to deep dive to make sure your packaging pricing is right. You're not guessing what Sunny charges or what Will charges or the guy down the road. Is what do I need to charge to be profitable? And so that's just one day. And then we do operations day where we're deep diving operations, how to improve that. And I'll look at the financials. One day we're doing the financials where we're looking at are your SG&A, your COGS aligned correctly in your accounting system? And what does that look like? Do you need to hire someone? Are you too profitable? And I hate to say there's never bad to be too profitable, but can you invest money back into the company to help you grow? And so those are the things I'm looking at.
Yeah, so it's probably mainly for entrepreneurs, right? MSP entrepreneurs. Is there any revenue size that is for kind of conversations to be rightly aligned with where they are in their overall business journey? Is it, for example, like MSPs under 10 million, 20 million, or like what kind of revenue size? Is there any criteria for you to make sure that you have the right ICP together in that room?
Yeah, so the week with Will is better off to be somewhere about 800,000 to 10 million in range, is usually what I've seen come to the event. Smaller companies, it will be a little too much for them. When you get under 500,000 and below, more to startup size companies, it's a little too much to take on. It's a lot to digest in that week. And you don't have a lot of things together that you need. So, and so about that top 10 million, we do one that's for larger MSPs. I try to align the people that are going to be there with the size, right? And so, that 10 to 40 million would be good on a if all 7 people are in that range and having definitely higher level conversation, because they probably have their packaging pricing down. I really don't need to help them with that, right? And so really the normal week with Will is that 800,000 to 10 million range.
I mean, that's great, because I remember when I was under 10 million as MSP, and the type of thinking that someone can bring to you when they have broken that glass ceiling, it's a game changer. The way you think, because your activities needs to be 10x for you to break that 10 million, because otherwise you stay stuck. And two comments there. One, as Dan Sullivan will say, his book is an amazing book, that 10x is easier than 2x. But the main thing that he talks about is that surround yourself with people where they have been there, they have done that, and because it's your activity level or the high payoff activities that you talk about. So really taking an inventory of your activity as an entrepreneur in a week, and then doing that audit and making sure that you consult with someone where you can change that activity type to change your result. And the other piece from the pricing packaging. So if you have like one piece of advice for people who are listening to this, what is that piece of advice when it comes to pricing and packaging?
Really, you have to know your hard costs and your soft costs. And when I say hard costs and soft costs, so think of all the software that you need to deploy on a piece of end user's computer. Okay. That is your hard costs there, right? So that's your RMMs, that's your antivirus, that's your, backups, whatever that's going to get installed, that's cost to you, right? So what is that cost from your vendors there? Then your soft costs or your labor cost, your direct labor. What is that direct labor cost that you have? And direct labor is really defined. Anybody that's servicing the customer is direct labor. So your what's not direct labor is your marketing, your admin staff, your executive team, your sales team, your account management team. It is not billing to the client, and so they you want to come up with that direct labor cost, and what does that look like? So, and we can go. I think I spent about 15-hour sessions on how to build packaging pricing. So just a few minutes that we have here, but that's really the important. And what is your true cost to delivering on a laptop? So if you take this laptop, what is that true cost for every month that's going to cost you to do?
Once you have that clarity, then your margins, at least you will have a roadmap to improve your margins, improve your EBITDA, and improve your enterprise value, which is the ultimate goal. That's the foundation. If you don't fix your foundation, you will not be able to fix your enterprise value.
Well, and that's where a lot of people, they want new clients, new logos, new clients, but they quickly forget you don't want to go that direction until you got your packaging pricing, because all you're doing is compounding an issue. You're adding a new client on board, bringing that client on, and now you've just compounded the issue that you already have. You can't hire enough staff because you're not charging enough, right? And the next big thing outside of direct labor and soft cost and hard cost is your service gross profit margin, right? You need to make sure that your service gross profit margin is correct for managed services to be successful.
Yeah. And I like my threes, Bill. My threes. So when it comes to, again, rhyming with three points. So for us at ITBD, it's pricing, packaging, and protecting. And because a lot of MSPs, they don't think of trademarks and patents, but that's like one. Like if you're doing something uniquely as a service company, and there is potential for you to protect that and then make it valuable from the enterprise value point of view.
Yeah,
we got many patents by finding some shortcuts. When it's a shortcut to get that patent with the lowest cost, not the traditional way, but a modern way. And I do believe that for entrepreneurs who are listening to us, if they can price properly, they can package properly. Naming your babies is really important. So name your babies really, really nicely because the name matters for your service.
It does.
And then taking some intentionality to protect, to make sure that, and that protection is not that other people don't just copy. I mean, if they copy, you will be able to protect your institutional knowledge and your unique way of doing things. But it's more of value building because when you have trademark, you have patents for your tools, for your templates. You will be able to get a much, much bigger multiple.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Yes. And okay, so now what's next for Bill when it comes to overall collaborations with other MSPs? What are you looking for when you are looking at your growth strategy? So what kind of MSPs you are interested in talking to? People where they want to take that overall, they want to sell their MSP or they want to just partner up with someone. Who is the right MSP for you?
So from Vector Choice standpoint, we're looking at acquiring. So someone that is looking at selling and exiting their business, we're looking for companies from, about $1 million to $5 million in revenue in size, top line revenue. I'm doing this. I'm not PE backed, and so I'm doing this with Will's piggy bank and not someone else's. And so, and we're looking, the $1 million to $5 million in top line revenue in size. We're also we've got a program that's been very successful. It's a JV partnership with Vector Choice, where you can become Vector Choice Denver or Vector Choice, Albuquerque, New Mexico, right? And so you are a entity there. You've got all our resources behind you. From a legal, from technical, cybersecurity compliance, and everything. So you've got the engine behind you, and all you have to do is go grow that location and everything. So we have that as well. If anybody's interested, you reach out, and I can give you more information on that. So really purchasing or JV partnerships from a Vector Choice standpoint. From a Will Noble standpoint, I'm looking, to invite people to come down to Acapulco for that. I have the Day with Will if someone's interested, and then I have an advisory program, which is an ongoing service where I'm really like your virtual COO, and I'm sitting in on all your leadership meetings every single week and all that good stuff as well. So I've got different things going on there as well from that. So I've got a lot going on. I stay busy.
If we don't have a lot going on, well, then we are not entrepreneurs.
That's true. That's true.
The day we can't just sit. We have to create value every single day. That is the DNA of an entrepreneur. What's the best way for people to find you?
I'll give you the easiest email address to remember, will@willnobles.com.
That is so easy. And of course, LinkedIn, and people can search your name. You're very active on social media. Will, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your collaborations. Thank you for your impact on the MSP community. I love this channel. I love this community, and I love people where they show up to add value to this community. And you are in the top 10 who create so much value for this channel. So truly, truly appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate it, sir, and awesome always to see you.
Thank you for watching Sunny's Silver Linings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.